stand far enough back to be in the frame with a certain amount of space above my head. You ever think about that? Like when you're walking around, how much space is above your head? And then the ceiling of the firmament, so that you don't scrape your scalp by walking too close to the sky. I once had a business where I taught every sort of organism, actually, not just human beings, but I taught them how to walk tall and proud. Today, a friend of mine was just saying how she'd been sober for 10 years. I did that. I told her how to walk tall and proud, scraping her scalp on the underside of the firmament. We undersell ourselves, obviously. We know. We don't quite understand why, per se, many of us. That's my specialty, is to help you understand why you undersell yourself. Many bigwigs, life coaches, talk show hosts, will give you their theories. But they don't necessarily know. What they're doing is they're essentially projecting from their own biography. Keeping it short and sweet with ignorance. I give them a free pass, they don't know better. Being lost without knowing you're lost. It's not a crime. If you get arrogant about it, it's annoying. But what if I were to tell you that the reason you sell yourself short and you don't walk tall and proud, scraping your scalp on the underside of the firmament, is that you don't really understand what's going on? Big picture. No picture. For you. If you're walking around on this planet with a sense of pervasive anxiety, constantly rattling your ribcage, you don't know why. You think you know why. It's because you're not following this or that thought leader, reading this or that bestseller. You think it's because you just haven't got the right set of perspectives, and there you are correct. But you're looking in the wrong place, my friend. Absolutely. It's like you go to a library. You want to read a Western, but you end up in the kids section. Preteens. They're not talking about Westerns, Clint Eastwood. Wow, wow, wow. The good, the bad, the ugly. That's not what preteens are looking into nowadays. Okay? I don't know what they're looking into nowadays, but you're in the wrong section of the library. And let's be clear, you don't even visit the library. It's old school. Wow, wow, wow. That's a cross between the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's Clint Eastwood and Debbie Downer from Saturday Night Live. Wow, wow, wow. Why don't you walk tall? Walk the fuck right out of that library. You were in the wrong section. Just scrape your scalp. You don't know what's going on in the planet. How could you heal yourself? Really? It's ignorance. If you've never been off-world, if you've never communed with interdimensional entities, you don't know what's up. How could you solve the visceral anxiety? How could you solve the walking small and instead walk tall? You've got the predicament. You are in a finite system. You've only got so much. What if I told you that you are in error? I was once lost at sea, floating on a raft. It's very salty. I had been marooned on a tropical island. I had fallen out of a spacecraft. I was once a legionnaire in an off-world squadron of freedom fighters for, you guessed it, planet Earth. Now, because when I had one of those special suits, when I fell out of the spacecraft, I was able to land on planet Earth. And when I hit the ocean, it was like landing in the bosom of my mother. Perfectly fine, laying my head against her breast as a 3-year-old child. Easy peasy.